Yo, yo, yo. It's Marky Mark Zero. That sucks. Can't believe that. Poor guy. Pretty much. There's some really delusional people in this world. Oh my God, these people are delusional. So today, this woman got shot because she was blocking the roads from an ICE agent in Minnesota. And then she tried to drive away and almost hits a cop, the cop that actually shot her. And everybody's saying that the cop killed her for no reason. And I'm just watching the video for the first time. And I can see clear as day that the lady's in the wrong. First of all, you shouldn't mind your own business, right? That's what got you killed. It's not minding your own business. Second of all, if you got your window down and then the ICE officer says, get out of your car, right? All you have to do is get out of your car, argue with him, get back in your car, and then go about your business, right? But first of all, you shouldn't have been blocking the road in the first place. Second of all, these people are doing their job that they've been told to do. If you don't like it, it's nothing to do with you. So you want illegal criminals and people inside your country, and these people are trying to get them out, but you have a problem with that. So that just got you killed because you're stupid. And then the guy that shoots you is in front of your car, who you could have run over and killed. But that's okay though. Half of these comments are and it's 13 million views. And these people are saying that half the people in the comments are saying that it's murder, and the other half are saying that it's clear as day what the woman did. Like, I can't believe how ignorant, people are. I really don't. I don't understand these people. Like, you can't see that video. You can't see this shit. So they're blocking the road. The agent comes up and he's saying, get out of the car. And she's trying to run away and almost hits a cop as she's driving away. Then the cop shoots her, kills her, and it's okay to disrupt the law all the time. You can see it clearly. Like, she backs up and says, fuck you. And then she almost hits the guy and he shoots her ass. That's justice to me. If I'm a cop and you're in a car and you're going towards me to run me over, I'm going to shoot your ass too. Last I checked, that's justification. And people are in the background, oh my effing God, you killed her, oh my God. No. She tried to kill a cop and she weren't obeying the law. And then you obstructed the law. So what do you people want these officers to do? Just let you run away? So if those officers let that woman drive that car away, right, then they're going to look like idiots, and then everybody else is going to think it's okay to do it. Oh, wow. I swear, buddy, these people in this world, they just don't, I don't know, they don't get it. Like, are you gonna allow people to keep obstructing the law, disrespecting the police? They're trying to do what they have to do. They've been told what to do, and you want to continue to sit there and say, "Hey," and then these idiots are like, "Ice out now, ice out now," and it's like maybe 100 of them. The crowd bangs on the Minneapolis courthouse just after a woman was fatally shot. So we want people to continue to break the law. I swear, bro. Look, and then they kicked these people kicked the window and broke the window in the courthouse. Wow. And these people said clearly you don't have to wake up early to go work. Does anybody work in Minnesota? You wouldn't think so. This president says, ICE isn't in there, bro, but your fully vaxxed zombies is on the move. Oh my God, that's a comment of the year. That shit's hilarious. This guy said, fully vaxxed zombies are on the move. Oh shit. And his name is Mark. No wonder. Oh man, that shit is hilarious. They assemble quicker than bees. These people, bro. Breaking windows looks like an insurrection to me. Exactly. Like, what are you getting out of breaking windows and breaking shit? Why don't you go to the ICE people? Go see them. Go deal with the ICE. Go see them on the road like that woman did. Why are you going to the building for? So they can do the same thing they did to the other person. What's this guy saying? He's got a USA thing. Let me see what he says. Hey, how you doing, Tanya? I'm okay. I just watching the the video just now of that lady who got shot by the ICE officers in Minnesota. Everybody's making such a big deal about it. I was watching all two different videos of the angles and all that, and I made my assumption of it, as everybody else has. People are so dumb. The painting went good. I finished it today, and tomorrow my cousin and I are gonna do my mom's roof. We're gonna power wash it and clean it, and then probably on Friday we'll probably paint it if the weather stays good. So my cousin came up here and got old Diamond's food, her her water bowl and food bowl, like it had like a little stand that I got for her. So I gave that to him as well for his dog. So it was nice. We had I got, he his wife called, messaged me to tell me thank you for giving her all the stuff from Diamond. I gave it all to them because I'd rather give it to my cousin than anybody. Yeah, so tomorrow we're gonna get together and we're gonna 9:30. We're gonna start my mom's roof. So it's cool. I can't wait. I can't wait to get it all clean and finished this weekend. Hopefully we'll be finished everything by Saturday. So I really need to get that done. It's pretty dirty. So I can't wait to get that done. It's gonna be like the biggest like job that I have to do to that house, and then everything else is pretty much little things that I have to do. And when we do the roof, we don't have to do it for like 3 to 4 years. So it's perfect. So I'm glad my cousin's happy because I gave him all that stuff for his dog. His wife's happy because I gave her the stuff, and oh yeah, definitely. His wife's more excited than he is because they're his wife is like kind of struggling financially, and she's the one who takes care of the dog. So I don't really like her. I never have. But at the end of the day, you know, sometimes you gotta, you know, kill some people with kindness because they're stupid. But at the end of the day, I'd rather give it to them than give it to somebody else because I love his dog and his dogs loves me. They always said this dog loves you. Every time you come here, like the dog just drools all over you and smells you and wants you to pet her. And I said, because people, dogs know that I love them, so it's all good. But I never remembered that about that dog. I never, because my head weren't on the other dogs anyway. But then I went down the list on my phone and I said, you know what? My cousin's got his dog, a Doberman Pinscher, big ass dog, and she's beautiful. She's so cute. And every time I went to the house, she would always like come around me, and they'd have to like tie her up so she won't aggravate me. I was there working one time, and they had to tie her up because she wouldn't leave me alone. So then I was like, oh shit, I might as well give all the food and stuff to her. She's Diamond's cousin. So yeah, I felt good today giving them all that stuff. I gave them a lot of stuff. So they were very grateful, happy that I gave it to them. And I'm sure uh, the dog's name is Moon, Luna. So in Spanish, but because they're Spanish, like so. Uh, anyway, yeah, I gave it to Moon, my sweetheart. I'll go visit her probably one day, see how she's doing for all the stuff. I'm not ready for that yet. I don't want to see no other dogs right now. But yeah, I'm so glad that I gave it to him. And I look forward to cleaning my mom's roof and stuff and getting all that shit done, painting it possibly on Saturday. I mean, Friday or Saturday. get shit done. So that's like the biggest thing I need out of the way and get done, and I'll be happy. Hey Sophie, how you doing? Patriots are gonna have a tough game on Sunday. It's gonna be tough, very tough. So we'll see. Hopefully we win, but we'll see. Even if we don't win, we've had a great season. So I don't really have too much expectations of them going further and further, but yeah, it's not a high roof or a dangerous roof to be on, Tanya. I've been on there like a million times. It's the only roof I'll go on, to be honest, because it's very small. It's not steep at all, and I'm not really doing the work my cousin is. I'm just there for like because when you power what? Hey Dan, how you doing, bro? Yeah, you right below you is Dan, and he's a Steelers fan, so you can talk to him. But yeah, exactly. The Patriots did really amazing this year, so that's good, Dan. Glad you're blessed, bro. Hope everything's good. So yeah, the roof is not a problem because my cousin's gonna be power washing, and then the roof has gutters up top that so I have to take like a submergible pump thingy and pump all the water off, you know? So that's the only thing I have to do is keep taking the water off the roof. So that way it doesn't accumulate there and it goes all over the grass. So so my job is very easy. I just gotta stay in like two spots, take all the water out of the way, and it's very easy. It's not a big deal. I'll be fine. My cousin will be fine. It's not the first time we've done it. It's a very easy roof to deal with. Now, my roof here is very dangerous. I've only been up there once and I won't go up there no more because this roof is super high and yeah, something would definitely happen to you if you go up there. And my cousin and his crew does it every 4 years. So, and I always pray that everybody stays safe on there, which happens. So we're good. I'm not worried. We'll be all right. So we're good. We're gonna be all right. Yeah, the Seahawks won. Yeah. Hmm. That's crazy, Dan. I can't believe they do that. There's a big story going on in Portugal that this guy went to the ER in Portugal 2 days ago, and he waited in the ER for 3 hours and he died. And then like the people are suing like the hospital and shit. And then today in Minnesota, some woman was in a car blocking ice from moving from going, and as they approached her to tell her to get out of the car, she drove off and almost hit an officer, and the officer that she almost hit shot right through her windshield and killed her. And then everybody's like, he murdered that woman. And I'm like, no, that woman is a lunatic, and She drove the car towards the officer, and it could have hit him and killed him. So if she would have killed the officer and he didn't shoot her, so what's right? A person killing an officer or an officer killing a person? Obviously, two wrongs don't make a right. But if the officer's telling you to stop and you're driving away and you almost hit an officer, then what do you expect? And what's so bad about ICE taking people out of your country that's there illegally? Isn't that what the whole purpose is? So you're mad that like, Americans don't make no sense. Like these people are like they're so dumb. They say the stupidest shit online, and they say, that woman like shouldn't have been killed. That woman shouldn't have intervened. Then she wouldn't have got killed. If she minded her business, she would have not. She'd be alive right now. Why are you like getting in the way of people doing their job? You know exactly, exactly. And people are trying to justify what she did. In what world does that happen? You'll be fine, Dan. You'll be all right, bro. You're a tough cookie. You'll be all right, bro. I prayed for you anyway, so you'll be good. You'll be all right. Just have the faith, bro. You'll be good. I have faith you'll be all right. Exactly. Like I just don't understand why people are doing this dumb shit. Like, Yeah, of course you are. I believe you are. I know you're tough, Dan. Because if not, you wouldn't be here. Yeah, but if I don't agree with the woman doing what she did, and I don't agree with that cop outright, shooting her through the windshield. I like the I mean it's an instinct, right? But what I would have done, I would have shot her tires. So that way the tires go flat and she can't drive nowhere. That's my first instinct as a cop. I don't really want to kill nobody because that's going to be on my conscience. But if you try to kill me with the car, then I'm going to, obviously shoot. But instead of him shooting through the windshield, I would have said, shoot her tires so she can't go nowhere, just aim for her tires and just shoot at the car, like, and just let her tires flatten out. I mean, like I said, two wrongs don't make a right. But at the end of the day, you're getting in the way of law enforcement. Why? And why would you drive away? That's so dumb. You know, like you're stupid. Well, people say that the agent didn't get hit, but you can clearly see that he did. Like if he didn't move, he would have she would have like knocked him right out of the fucking way. Because one video shows that it looks like he doesn't get hit. But then the one that the person took from a building that's on an angle where you see her, like the front of her car, you can see like the guy gets like hit. That's what I see at least. Yeah. So I know I ain't seeing things. Sophie, I know you saw it. Everybody sees it, but people are just delusional. Someone sent that video to a person in the comments and said, "Look at this," and they still said, "Oh, there's no. I still don't see the guy getting hit." Because people don't want to take accountability for the truth. People don't want to see the truth. You see what I'm saying? So that's your dumbness. At the end of the day, you fuck around, you find out. And the worst people you should deal with is people who are like trying to threaten a cop's life. You know? So not my problem. not my situation. And if I knew the person and they did that, I would say, well, nobody deserves it. But at the end of the day, you provoked a police officer to shoot you. That's how I look at it. You should have just drove the fuck home and mind your own business. Ain't nothing to do with you. Yeah, and they never do. They never take accountability. It's just like all this shit about how, the U.S. Like the military came in and apparently kidnapped this guy. They didn't kidnap him. That's dumb as shit. Kidnapping is taking somebody and not bringing them back, and taking them somewhere. He went before a court. He was in court, and they're sentencing him to like 40 years because he did a lot of dumb shit. And he's the head of a drug cartel. He's proven it's all like shit that he did, you know. And everybody in Venezuela is like, yay, this asshole's gone. Now we can have our country back. So why would the people there praise it? And then other people are like, oh, what are you doing? I can't believe Donald Trump did this. It's illegal. So it's illegal for him to go get a criminal that's selling drugs all over the world and to your country to kill your people with drugs. It's okay. All right. Last I checked, you're delusional if you think that what he did wasn't right. He's trying to save everybody from dying. People are so fucking dumb, man. Yeah, I've spoke to a few. I know some Venezuelans in Bermuda. I know two, and they told me right away it's the best thing that ever happened. So, like, why wouldn't it be good if you get a dictator and a devilish drug lord bastard out of there and put him in jail? There's no other way. You have to do it, or else the country's gonna. These people are gonna suffer. Everybody makes such a big deal about slavery, and that's exactly what those people were. They were slaves to a drug cartel, and they still are. Apparently, there's a few other guys that he works with that are like already have like a warrant out for their arrest and like a bounty on their head, and then like a reward if you get them. So they're probably gonna do it. Yeah, apparently he didn't win the election. He just took over and called himself president. Yeah. Apparently he's not the real president. The guy that won the election is the real president. But because the drug cartel has so much power, they took over. And why is he living in the military? And why isn't he living in like the White House or like the president place? He isn't. He's living in a military base because he knows if he isn't, he's gonna die. Someone's gonna kill him. And you know what? They bring him back alive. They didn't kill him. So when Obama invaded those other places and killed their leaders, that was okay. All right. But Trump goes and gets the guy and brings him back alive and his wife, and it's kidnapped and it's criminal. But you didn't kill the guy; you just bring him here to put him in front of a thing. So make that make sense to me. And I don't like to talk about politics too much because it ain't my country, and I don't really give a fuck, right? But like that doesn't make any sense because I love America and I love the United States. It's one of my favorite places to go. You know, and I don't think I'll ever live there because I live in a place that doesn't have a lot of crime and violence and people dying every day. We don't have guns here, but gangsters have guns here, but they don't run this on, and I tell you that right now. But the thing is like when I see these things on the news, I just start like shaking my head and saying, how could someone like hate this man after all he's done? Like, I don't get it. How could you hate a man that's looking for world peace? Looking for like, a way out of the system. and looking for a way like to get rid of drugs and all that shit. Ronald Reagan did the same thing, and he got assassinated. Ronald Reagan did the same thing years ago when I was a kid. He wanted to end the war on drugs and all that, and they tried killing him, and they succeeded. They ended up killing him, I believe. You know, and that was a long time ago. But he was like one of the last people that tried to do that. People talk about it because I remember it to a certain extent because it was all over the news at the time. Hey Starlight, how you doing? Well, that's the thing, Dan. I don't think they ever will because the the thing is, in my eyes, in my perspective, and my knowledge of being in this world, this amount of years that I am, is the thing is I always say it's good versus evil, and God versus the devil. That's what the world is. That's how it is. There ain't no if, ands, buts about it. But the problem is God has the final say. The devil's not more powerful than us or God. But that's my opinion. And but the thing is the devil gains a lot of followers. It's just like the real world we live in. We have followers, right? We get likes, we get views. It's just like God. God has billions of followers, but the devil has a billion followers too. But God just has way more, right? But just those billion followers from the devil, that's enough evil to go around. See, and that's my perspective on the world. As long as there's evil, there's always bullshit that's gonna happen. But now a lot more people are seeing the real deal. Like they're seeing that people, are evil and we need to stop it. And if they have to be wiped off the face of the earth, so be it. The wrath of God will come through one day. That's why a lot of people are getting karma right now. A lot of things are happening. Ever since last year to this year, it's already starting. People are getting theirs. I hear of karma situations every day now, and I know it's going to continue because it comes a point where people get fed up and they've had enough. And that's why that saying has come out, fuck around and find out. Because that's exactly what's happening. And people, you know, think it's a joke. Well, go ahead, think it's a joke then. Yeah, exactly, Sophie. I agree. And I've told everybody on here for years that he was going to do everything. My prediction when he got into power the first time is that he was going to fix everything, and he did. And nobody wants to hear that. And I've lost friends because I support him and like him. But I liked him even before he was the president because he had all these cool shows on TV and he used to like make me laugh and talk shit. And he was in the wrestling world too. He came into wrestling one time and he was talking shit in there. He was cool with like some of the wrestlers and stuff, you know? And he's known like by a lot of good people. A lot of people love him. But it's the devilish bastards that try to make see when you do good, even though if you're not a good person, but you do good shit, people don't want that. And I've been explaining this for years that you can be the most decent person in the world, but there's gonna be that one person that tries to always make you look like you're bad, and there's always gonna be that one person that destroys you. You know, there's always gonna be that one person that's gonna like try to ruin your life. And it's just the way life is. You have to accept that you're never going to be accepted by every single person in your life. It don't work that way. It never will be that way. But I have the right. I'm not American. I'm Bermudian. But I love America and I love you guys because you're Americans and you're my friends. And I know I have Canadians, I have Europeans, I have people from all over the world in here, and I love all of you. It doesn't make a difference. But I love the United States. And when I went the last time I went to Boston in 2020, America was a shithole and it wasn't good. Then COVID came and it became more of a shithole in a lot of places. America in a whole is a beautiful place, but the people are shit. A lot of people there are ruining the world. And they're ruining the world with all these fucking bullshit things they come up with. And half of America is like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? And the other half is like, we're gonna do what we want. We're gonna dress up like I'm a girl, but I'm gonna dress up like a boy. I'm a boy, but I'm gonna dress up like a girl. I identify as a cat. Yeah, I'm gonna kitty litter right now. So a guy said one time, oh, you identify as a cat? Okay, well, when you get sick, you're not going to the hospital, you're going to the vet. And they looked at him, was like, oh, wait a minute. I better not identify as a fucking cat because they're going to take me to the vet and put me in a fucking cage. Yeah, dumbass. If you want to identify as a fucking animal, then you're going to go to the vet. You're not going to go to the hospital, you idiot. The fuck is wrong with you people? If somebody in Bermuda did that, we would kick their ass. We would beat the living fur out of them. You understand me? In Bermuda, we don't tolerate no bullshit that you guys invent. It don't happen. It don't happen in any which way. Bermudians, maybe some of them are dumb as shit, but we will never go around talking about I identify as a fucking cat or I'm a fucking transgender. Ain't no none of that shit around here. You'll get slapped. If you tell somebody I'm a transgender, you're gonna get beaten. Remedians don't tolerate none of that bullshit you guys invent. Hey Luna, how you doing? Yeah, exactly. Karma could be, humorous, and karma could be life changing. Karma is a part of life. I've been telling people that forever. Yes, Starlight, I hope that Poppy gets found and you get to deal with her. I know you will. I have faith that everything will happen. See what happens when you put up the posters and stuff? I told you. See that? It helps. So that way they have a picture of the animal, so they know. They're like, oh shit, that's the picture I saw. Boom, there you go. That's all that matters. She's just going on a vacation. She'll be back. You'll be fine. I have faith that everything will happen. Yeah, they want to get spayed or neutered. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly. They're better off getting. When that guy said that shit on TikTok, I laughed so much because I saw the video where the lady goes, "I identify as a cat." First of all, cats don't talk, stupid. You know. I swear, man, the amount of shit that I've seen in the past couple years has been absolutely nuts with Americans and just people all over the world. Canadians too are acting crazy. It's just a bunch of fucking weirdos. But see, in Bermuda, you can't do that shit because we don't tolerate that. We'll make you feel very uncomfortable where you'll think twice about identifying as anything but your damn self. Even the gay community here, they're not free here. We don't want that stuff here. We have gay people here, tons of them, and we tolerate their parades. We tolerate what they what decision they've made in their life, but it's not a thing here. It's not accepted. There's too much religion here, like too much religious people, and they don't want them to get married here. You can't, if you're gay, you can't get married here. It's illegal. Well, they'll never make that law happen because people will go nuts. They'll burn the fucking government house down. Like Bermuda is very strict when it comes to like things that are not godly based. God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. So people are totally against the gay regime here, but we still have gay people here, and they have a right to have a parade, to be gay here, do what they want to do, but get married in a church, that ain't happening. And people, if you're gay here, you get you get looked at different, and people don't really respect you like that. There's people who accept it and say, you know what, it's okay, I don't give a fuck. and people don't care, you know. So, but people here will never accept it 100% because we were raised to dislike that type of stuff. But you know what? I know some really nice gay people, and they don't bother me. They don't push their agenda on me like some of these people do. And that's the problem is you can be whatever you want. I don't care if you're gay or not. I'm not like I would never be gay because I like women, right? So if you want to be, then that's fine. I don't care. You can be that. I'll be your friend. I'll be cool with you or whatever, but don't ever push that agenda on me. And I'm not going to push the agenda on you that you should not be. So if you respect me, I'm going to respect you no matter what. You got me? And that's what I've always said on here. Because I have gay clients on here, I have gay friends here and there, but they're not like, they know how I feel, whereas I don't accept it and I never will. But it's only because that's how I was born and raised to believe that. And I'm still believe that that's not the right way to live your life. But if you want to live your life that way, fine, go right ahead. But just respect the fact that I don't accept it in my heart because it's not what God wants. You know what I'm saying? So if that's not what God taught us, then why should I accept it? You know? But I accept it to the fact, whereas you don't put it, if you don't have that agenda to put on me, then I won't put it on you. And that's just it. We can be friends, but just don't tell me that I have to accept you. I don't have to accept nobody. You know, we shouldn't accept anything that we don't believe we should accept. But at the end of the day, in Bermuda, living here, it's a thing. Like people don't tolerate it. Like you don't see two gay guys walking down the street in Bermuda all hugging and kissing. Because one, they know better. Two, they'll probably get beaten or they'll get objects thrown at them. So they can do it behind closed doors. It's fine. They do it on their own time. But you won't see really people doing that shit. And in the club, they have like some, gay nights here where DJs play and they have like a meet and greet gay night and all this stuff I heard about. And they said that there they can do what they want because it's their night. And that's it. So they have their freedom, but here it's a limited freedom. That's why a lot of gay people don't want to live here because it's not accepted and they can't get married here. I have a friend who I grew up with, and I know his whole family, and I knew he was gay. And he saw me at like the rugby game. This is a true funny story. And everybody knows he was gay, and they saw me with him, right? But see, his family and my family are very close, and I don't care if he's gay or whatever, right? So then all these women came up to him, right? And he was introducing me to all these hot chicks, right? So I'm like, yeah, this is the benefit of being around a gay guy because the gay guys got all the women around him, right? Because they know that they're not going to get hit on by him, right? And he's a good looking guy anyway. So he's like, hey, Mark, I introduce you to all my hot, friends. I'm like, yeah, sure, bro. Because I accepted him, I was cool about being his friend. I didn't really care because he had a boyfriend, but, it was like a closet thing. This is like about ten years ago. And it was pouring rain this day, and we were underneath this big ass tent. And all the girls were all like, hey, how you doing? And he's like, oh, this is my friend. He's like family to me. His name's Mark. I'm like, oh, hey, how you doing? I met like about 10 different chicks all around him and shit. And I was like, dang, I'm good to go. I know you now. I know you now. I was happy to be around him. That was like the best moment ever. I was like, I'm good. I'll hang out with you, bro. As long as you tell everybody that I am your man and y'all introducing me to all these girls, I'm good to go. So that was like the funny shit right there. But anyway, so it's just examples I'm giving about things, but people would try to twist my words, obviously. I'm just telling you how it is here. Because out there, it's a lot different than it is here. Tons different. Even like smoking weed and shit. When I was in Boston, people were smoking weed after the game, all these kids around and shit. Here in Bermuda, they don't really you do it at they do it at like games and shit, but they don't openly smoke weed on public streets and all that shit. They'll get fucked off. Like people will say, "Yo, you better fucking put that shit out. I'm gonna make children around here." Like Bermuda's a respectful place. But like you can do whatever you want, but just don't do it around in public and disrespect children and families. You know what I mean? Because if you do, you're gonna get fucked off and you're gonna get dealt with in a manner that you probably wouldn't expect to get dealt with. And that's how it is in Bermuda. You ain't gonna disrespect nobody and get away with it. Ain't gonna happen. And that's the way it should be. Cause I used to smoke weed for 20 something years and I never did that shit. Cause I respect children. That's why I stopped. So my nephews don't look at me like I'm a drug addict. Cause I was never a drug addict. I just like to smoke weed and drink and smoke cigarettes. I never bothered nobody, never killed nobody. It was just something that I did for years. But I stopped so my nephews don't look at me in a bad way. And I stopped for my own health too. But that was one of the main reasons I stopped because I respect my nephews and I don't want them to say, oh, yeah, my Uncle Mark, he smokes weed. He's a drug addict. I ain't talking to him. That would break my heart, you know? So I chose them over weed and alcohol so they don't do it. And none of them, the two oldest ones, they drink every now and then, but they don't know what none of them smoke weed or anything like that. But if I still did it, they would. They probably would do what I do because they all follow my lead. So I didn't want them to do what I did. So yeah, these are all examples of things that happen here in Bermuda. And that's why I would never leave here because Bermuda's another world. We don't do what everybody else does. We have a respectful country. We don't care about what everybody else does. We're not followers, we're leaders. And we live like the God system. God is everything for us, you know? We have the most churches per capita in the world. So we have tons of churches and everybody like worships God here. There's no devil worshiping weirdos here and all that type of shit. You get slapped, you know? You do anything out of line, we don't like that. Something's gonna happen to you. So it's either you do what we do or you're gonna face consequences. And that's why people leave here sometimes because they can't handle they want to be in that USA world and the rest of the world is regime to do bullshit. I have a right. Yeah, your right is to shut the fuck up and do your job. Oh, you got a fancy TV dinner? Enjoy. A guy sued a gynecologist because the doctor said he only sees women, but he kept saying that it is right because he's a woman. Oh, look at that shit. That's crazy. Yeah. See, that's fucking nuts. That's why we tell my brother, I love you, brother, but he always brings his boyfriend over. He respects us, so do we. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's illegal there. Starlight, yeah, it's illegal. A lot of places. It's still illegal here in Bermuda, but it's tolerated. People tolerate that the weed shit now and all that stuff. Like people tolerate. You know, see, we don't have like no LGBTQ group here. That shit would never be no group. There's a group of them, but they don't call themselves that. You know, they're just like the Bermuda gay crew, and they do whatever they want. They don't bother nobody. And that's the way it should be. They don't bother nobody. People talk shit about them and all that stuff. And, some people say some nasty shit, but me, I don't pay it no mind because it ain't nothing to do with me. I'm not going to tell somebody what to do with their life. You want to be what you want to be, go right ahead. You want to be a killer, a murderer, a drug addict, an alcoholic. You want to be gay, you want to be straight, you want to be like a whore. You do whatever you want. I don't care. Just leave me out of your madness. I want to be normal. I want to live a normal life. Just leave me alone. I don't care what you're doing. You know what, Starlight? It is energetically beautiful because Bermuda has a lot of powerful psychic energy here, you know? And we have a lot of crystals and we have crystal caves, like I've mentioned before. And Bermuda is just an outright um, beautiful place to live. Not because I live here, it's because I know for a fact that it has very powerful energy, and it's very, like, it's a place full of water, and trees and life, and it's just a beautiful place to be. We're in the middle of the world in the ocean. So it's a place I would never want to leave. And there's no like bad shit going on here. Like, just regular things that's like tolerated, and just like, people really don't give a fuck. Like, people don't really care about dumb shit. Like, here, nobody's really killing people every day. Nobody dies every day here. The only thing that happens every day is like accidents. There's a lot of road accidents and road rage here. That's the only thing that's increased a lot in my lifetime. A lot of road rage and road accidents, but there's no murders every day and all that shit. No, hell no. No, it's a beautiful place to be, and I'll never give it up for anything. Dan, you said my stepbrother gave him a dragon meat 20 years later, and the nephew wrapped himself around a tree high on heroin. Yeah, my one of my best friends died from heroin. Hey Barbie, how you doing? A Baja chicken bowl. Sounds good. You put extra cheese. Get it cleaned up, Tanya. Come on now. You know Phil won't like that. Phil wanted you to live clean. Come on now. How you expect Phil to help you out if you're not doing what he expects of you? You better clean that damn camper. Get to it, woman. Don't act up. Play some music and get yourself into the groove, you know, and start cleaning. Make it happen. Don't make me put you over. Don't make me put you over my knee. You probably like it, but I can't live. I can't live in a dirty area, or you know. I mean, I know I have clothes all over the place. That's just only because I used that last night and I just threw it there. But my nothing dirty around here. You know, I mop and sweep every week. And if I took you upstairs to my bedroom, everything's, nice and clean. And my kitchen is clean because you see me wash my dishes. I can't live in a dirty area. That ain't happening. As soon as my trash smells foul, I take that shit outside and put it in my trash bin. Even if it's half full. I'm like, hell no. I can't smell no trash and shit when I come in here. Even dirty ass clothes. When that hamper halfway, I could wash the clothes. I can't have no dirty ass clothes in here and smelling that shit. Hell no. Yeah, exactly. It makes me feel happy when I clean everything. Starlight, what happened? You said, "Whoa, that's heavy. You can't mention Class A here at all." What do you mean? I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know if you're talking to me or not. Yeah, exactly, Barbie. People, killing people. Sad. Yeah, clean up, sis. Come on now. Sometimes people can say what they want on here, Starlight, to a certain extent because the videos are not being seen by a lot of people unless somebody pricks. And I've had that happen plenty of times. And there's a lot of things that I say on here that, I can get in trouble for, but I don't really give a fuck. It is what it is. If nobody's snitching, then nobody would know. Hey Matt, how you doing? Shit, I didn't even see you, bro. How you doing? When the hell did you come in? I didn't even see you come in. Oh, you said quick hello. Oh, now I see you. Shit. My bad, bro. I didn't even see you. I hope I said hello to everybody. Shit. I got caught up in talking and then I'm starting to catch up with the chat. I hope I spoke to everybody. I don't want nobody to say, Mark didn't speak to me. I'm leaving. Like the other person did last year. I came in and you didn't say anything to me, so I left. Okay. Apparently. Then when I go back and look on the video, I spoke to her. She was just looking for attention. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's late where you are. I mean, you should be sleeping. You should be in a deep sleep. I'm half comedian. Yeah. I do a lot of impressions. I do it a lot. I do a lot of people's voices. Oh yeah. Oh my god, Mark didn't speak to me. I can't believe he didn't speak to me. I'm important. I'm leaving. I'm offended. He didn't recognize me. Then the next day, she's like, oh, I was offended because you didn't speak to me last night. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, woman? And she's like, last night you didn't speak to me. I said, okay, well, now that I have you in here, hello. Second of all, I know I spoke to you yesterday. I speak to everybody, guaranteed. And if I was in the middle of a reading, I'm not going to speak to you probably right away. But I always catch up with the chat. So it's impossible I didn't speak to you. Oh, I'm telling you, you didn't. I said, all right, cool. I'm going to go look at it right now. So then I went back and looked at the video and I spoke to her and she claimed I didn't. And I even showed her go to 1 minute and 1 minute and something seconds and go check it out. So she went and checked it out. She goes, oh, I apologize. I said, no, you just looking for fucking attention. And guess what? I'm not giving it to you. You ain't my woman. You ain't my hoe. And you ain't nothing to me. Bye. Leave me alone. Go look for attention in OnlyFans. I hate you. You're so mean. Why are you so mean? Damn you, Mark. I hate you. I'm never coming in here again. I don't care. You're doing me a favor. You're taking out the trash. Men. Men are such assholes. Fuck out of here. That's less a crybaby I gotta deal with. Oh shit. Barbie, you said I cried today. Can't remember when I did that last. Sometimes you gotta cry. I cried a lot these past 2 months, especially this last week. I cried a lot. You have to let it out sometimes. That's one thing I don't like is crying. I hold it back and I keep it in. But I cried a lot these past 2 months, you know. But it makes me feel better. I ain't gonna lie. I just don't want to cry in front of people, you know. But I cried a lot, plenty of times. Yeah, I hold in a lot too because I really don't want nobody to see me cry. But if I'm by myself, I'll cry. That's cool. Nobody's seeing me. We love you, warts and all. I ain't got no warts. She makes sure I'm on as hell hope. Yeah, I mean that's cool. Like, you know. Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, Matt. I should give you more attention, bro. And Matt's gonna be like, bloody hell, Mark ain't giving me no bloody attention. Fucking wanker. He ain't giving me no bloody attention. I came in here to say a quick hello. Fucker him. All right. Good night, all. Hey, we gotta laugh sometimes, you know. Yeah, Matt, you need a cuddle? You need a hug, bro. Right, mate. Bloody hell. I love my English people. They make me laugh. My nephew loves when I talk like an English person. Cause I know all the slang and shit they have, right? And I started talking bullshit. I used to work with this English guy. He was like, Mark, you're fucking around, man. Come on. Let's go. I'm like, shut up, you wanker. That's like what they say, right? Shut up, you wanker. I was like, I ain't no fucking wanker. Come on, you jackass. Let's go. We used to talk pure shit to each other. It was funny as hell. Some people thought I was English because I did the accent pretty good. And I used to have a teacher. His name was Mr. Eustace, and he was from England. And he's like, right, Mark, stop talking. Come on, let's get to work, mate. And I was like, all right, sir. You know, I'll do me work. And he used to be like, don't mock me. Don't imitate me. You're not English. And I was like, he goes, your accent's not, your impression's not that bad, but you got work to do. And I was like, well, I just need to hear you talk a little more and I'll have your voice down in no time. And he gave me like that look to say, yeah, you fucker. But me and him was cool. He was my favorite teacher. He knew I was just talking shit. He was my favorite teacher. I miss him. Cool guy. Shout out to Mr. Eustace, my buddy. I got you, bro. You wanker. Yeah, there's a lot of English people here. This is a British colony, so we're full of English people. We have people from Ireland, Scotland, the UK, all over. We have tons of people from the English places here. Tons. But see, they think that Bermudians talk English, but we don't. Bermudian born people have a very poor pronunciation of words. But I talk a lot different because you guys a lot of people make fun of how I say things, right? Like when I say these damn hoes, It sounds like I'm talking about a water hose, but it's just the way I pronounce it. See, some people say hose, but I say hus, with the Z, Hoeze, hus. These hus ain't loyal. But yeah, I have a lot of English friends and people I know from England. Right. What's the other guy we had? We had a guy named Mr. Was it Mr. No, I can't remember his name now. What the hell is that idiot's name? He was an asshole English guy. He kept saying, right, right, Mark, come on, get with it, mate. Come on, stop talking. Stop too much chatter. He was like hardcore English. We couldn't even understand his ass. But he always used to say, right, everybody stop the chatter. Let's get back to work. I used to be like, shut up. Because here in Bermuda, a lot of people call English people limeys, right? They used to be, shut up, you limey. They'd be like, shut up, you wanker. That's what they used to call English people here, limeys. They used to say, you bloody limey. These days, they say so much bad shit here. English people used to get drunk as fuck and talk a lot of shit, right? They still do. So they're perfect to be in Bermuda because Bermudians and English people love to drink and talk shit and party, right? And that's why we all get along here. But yeah, they're crazy ass people. All right, Matt, take care, bro. Good seeing you. Glad I can make you laugh before you go sleep. Well, a car can be very sentimental, Barbie. So I get it. I've cried over my first car when I sold it. I was like, fuck my poor car. But honestly, I cried more when Diamond died than my own dad died. I know that probably doesn't even sound right, but it's just that. See, I didn't see my dad suffer. He just had a heart attack and passed away. So I was in more of a shock with my dad than emotionally crying. But I did cry a lot, obviously, when my dad passed away. But it was more of a shock more than a cry. I was still like saying like, how the hell is this like, how the hell is this even happening? Like, how is this even possible? Like I still am in like a weird vibe with my dad. Like I just don't like I still don't believe it happened. Like I still don't. Like I like my dad was I cried at the funeral a lot because I realized it was a reality. It was really happening. Like, that's when I cried the most. And at the cemetery I did too. And then the day after I definitely cried a lot home here at my couch. And I was like, "Fuck, man! I can't believe this shit." I'm in shock more than I am in like emotionally crying. Where I didn't really see my dad suffer a bad death. He just had a heart attack and that was it. But when I saw my dog die last week, her suffering for like 3 days straight, and going through that whole, she had a bad year, and so yeah, you're right. It's a different kind of love, and it's a different kind of like, because I was with Diamond every single day. I wasn't with my dad every day. I didn't live with my dad for the past, umpteen years. So it's different, right? It hurts more for my mom because she's with him every day. But for me, Diamond was a different cry. Like it was like my best friend died. My dog died, person, a dog I see every single fucking day for the past 10 years, almost 11 years. So it's definitely different for me. It's a different type of like feeling. Yeah. Yeah, the shock is still there. I'm still shocked that my dad's gone. Like it doesn't make sense. It don't like I don't feel like it's real still. Because when I go to the house and I don't see him, I just think he's in the bathroom or something, or he's gonna come out like that's what I mean. Like that's the type of shock like I have, you know. It's crazy. But Diamond was my you know my best friend and dog. So having her pass away on Monday was, and it's been a week already, over a week now. So it's like it's set in now. Good night, Dan. Take care, brother. Glad you're okay. Keep the faith. Be up good, bro. I'll pray for you again tonight. I can't believe I'm praying for a Leo. Oh, good Lord. Look what God's got me doing. Yeah, I know, Tanya. It is hard. Pets are family. See, Diamond was pretty much like, the love of my life. I was with her every single day, man. And it hurts so much to see her fall apart. Within 3 days, she was completely fucked, and I don't know what to think anymore. I just cried nonstop. And it still hurts. And I still tear up every day. I had to explain everything to my cousin today about, the whole thing, what happened to her. And it was hard not to cry or not to like be sad and whatever. But it's just life, man. It's just the way it is. I can't change what's gone now. But I'm glad I have you guys to talk to every day, you know, because I look back there and there's nothing there anymore. There's no dog. There's no like, hey guys, look at Diamond. No, she's snoring or she's pissing me off because she's snoring. There's not. It's quiet now. I don't hear anything, so it's definitely a different life and a different like feeling. It's annoying to be honest, because it's like, now what? But hey, it's not easy. Yeah, same here. Same here. So, you know, it's weird, but it's like, it's just the way it is. Cause you're not with if the thing it'll be different if your dad, if you're like, say if you're like, you know, say if you're like, usually the average person moves out of their parents' house between 18 and 21, right? Realistically, that's when you can move out. And most people move out of their homes, around those ages. I did. I moved out at 19. So I would say the average person moves out of their parents' house around that time, right? Either way, if you're with your dad and your mom every day and you see them every day pretty much and you live with them and they died during that first 10, 15 years of your life, then it's definitely going to hurt because you're with them every day. But I haven't lived with my parents for 20 years, for over 20 years now. Shit. I got my first apartment at 19 and then I was there for a couple years. And then when my dad got sick in 2008, I went back home to take care of them. I left my apartment and took care of them, which I wish I would have never done. But I did it, because my parents needed me and I was the only person that was available. And they invited me back into their home temporarily to take care of them and make sure my dad was okay. So back in 2008, my dad was all fucked up back then. He had hard problems and shit. And I didn't want to leave them stranded, so I gave up my apartment and my life at the time to go help them. And I had just gone on my own too. So it was a big transition for me in 2007, 2008 when my dad got sick. but I did it for them. And I know they appreciate it. But right in 2009, 2000 and between 2009 or 2010, I think I moved here. Yeah, yeah, I moved here in 2000, and I've been here for 15. It'll be 16 years this month that I've been here. I think so. Yeah, January 25th will be January 25th was when I moved here, and I think it's gonna be 16 years that I've been here. So 16 years ago was what? 2010, right? Yeah. So I'm right. Yeah. So I was at my parents' house from 2008 to like 2009, almost 2010. So I was there for like, a year and a half because I went there like mid 2008. And my landlord at the time was pissed that I was leaving. They even wanted to put my rent down just to help me. And I was like, look, I have to go live with my mom and dad because they need me. Like my dad's fucked, and I don't want him to die, and then they're gonna blame me for not helping him. So I have to give up this apartment and go back to them. So I was there for like a year and a half, and then my sister bought this house, and then I moved here. So yeah, but yeah, yeah, exactly. So that's the thing. Like, but if I believe that, I believe that if you live with your parents for the first 18 years of your life and they were to die, one of them to die, it'll be a lot more painful because you're with them every day. But see, I was with Diamond every day. That was my shadow. That was my best friend. She's with me 24/7, day and night. She slept here. So we would go to sleep and I would say goodnight. And then when I woke up, she was there again. And then, deal with her throughout the day. And when everybody went away and I was house sitting, and it was just me and her. Now when that happens, I'm fucked. I have nobody. I'm gonna be here completely by myself. So now they're like, well, Mark, you gotta come with us away now. You gotta come on the trips with you so you're not alone because we don't want you to be alone. And now I can go on the trips with them. So they're kind of happy that I'm gonna be able to go on trips with them again. So, in a way, it's a big transition and change now because I get to do a lot of things that I couldn't do when she was alive. And even when my dad was alive, I had to cater to him. I had to take him to places. My whole life revolved around him and my dog. And within 2 months, it was all over. And now I'm going into this year with no like the two people I took care of on a regular basis. And now I have, my mom to take care of now, my sister next door, my nephews, and that's it, and myself. So the two people that I dealt with the most are gone. And now it's down to me, my mom, my sister, and my nephews. My other siblings, I don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about me, so I don't really care about them like that. I ain't tolerate none of them. But yeah, my my take care list lost its first two, patients. I was like a doctor and a Uber driver for them and everything else. But I know that they're gonna take care of me now in spirit. I just got I got a more powerful army now with my dad and Diamond there. So I look at it that way. I look at the positive side of it as much as I can. You know. Yeah, she was my soulmate because I'd rather be with her than be with a dirty hoe. So yeah, Diamond was clean as a whistle. She only loved one man. That was me. Dedicated. Now I'm coming to terms with it more and more. It's hard though, but when I was in my workshop today painting, I was just playing some music in the background, and I just happened to look over. And I felt like I smelt her or felt her. It was weird. Felt like she was there. I'm sure she was, but it's weird because like usually I can sense it a lot better, but it's just like when sometimes when somebody's really close to you, you can sense them at times, but at other times they're just there because it's a natural feeling. Like you already know, so you don't really like try to scope it out, if you know what I mean. Yeah, Tanya. Well, that's her choice is to live with him, and maybe one day she might get fed up of him and come back to you. And then when she comes back to you, you might get fed up of her and be like, "I wish you never came back because you're a fucking nuisance, or you've changed and I don't know who the fuck you are anymore." And then again, it might be for the better and it might be for the worse, and maybe it's meant for you to not be with her because she's going through a transition period. You know, when you're, I don't have kids, but when your kids reach that age, they feel like they can do whatever they want, and they can because they have legal freedom. But sometimes they have too much pride to say they're wrong. And because she's in Aries, which I think she is, if my memory serves me right, if she's in Aries, that means she's the most stubborn zodiac sign in the world. And usually most Aries women, especially, are don't take accountability for their actions. They just rather be wrong and just be like, "Fuck you! I'm never telling you I'm wrong." They know they're wrong, but they will never admit it because that's just a trait that they have. And I know a lot of Aries women that do that. I used to date some, so I know what they're like. And I have a sister that does that. Exactly. You know, when I was 19, I left home, and it was the best decision I ever made. And I lived with myself. And I didn't really speak to my dad that much because he was the reason I left. You know, well, Taurus and Aries are pretty much almost like, the same type of like the bull and the ram are very stubborn. They have their ways, and they sometimes they can't coexist with each other, right? Two stubborn signs. A ram and a bull are not meant to be in the same cage because they're gonna see whose horns are the strongest, and that's not a good thing. But my experiences with Aries women have not been good. There's only one Aries, well, two Aries women that I know that I actually, love and care about. But I don't speak to them as often as I do before. But they never showed me signs of that. Well, kind of, sort of. But yeah, some of them can be really, stubborn as shit. Hey, Fiona, how you doing? Yep, I remember. That's why I said what I said. You know, that's probably why she's the way she is. And you're a Taurus, so that's butt head. You know, button heads. Yeah, he just left. Fiona. He's okay. Yeah, he has to deal with some medical stuff as usual. I already pray for him all the time. He's the only Leo that I like. Period. I don't really like Leos. They're my opposite anyway. You know. But I'm very confident that he'll be okay. He's in good spirits. I think his attitude keeps him. His attitude and his laughter and his humor keeps him. You know, saying, and I like that about him. I'm the same way. Like, I don't really let things bother me too much because I have faith in God. So that's all that matters to me. Hey Brian, how you doing, brother? Happy New Year. Just a heads up. Uh, my price went up to $10 a question for this year, and Tanya just made up for your $10. But in the future, it's now $10 a question. So um, you probably didn't see it, but yeah, it's up there on my top thingy. So yeah, just to let you know. Thank you, Tanya. It's very nice of you. She's just a kind person, but she's nice on Wednesdays. Okay. You said I text Jeremy and told him my plan to have a group between me, him, and Paul to plan an acoustic jam session. How would this go? Hmm. All right. I feel like when he gets the text and he's gonna be happy about it, but I don't feel like it's gonna go that well. I feel like I mean I know you plan to have this acoustic jam session, but I don't see it being 100% you know good. I feel like you guys will talk and you'll have like you'll do it or whatever, but it might not end up being that great. Like I feel like somebody will be upset, or somebody will like not show up, or somebody can't make it. And I also get that there could be a woman that gets involved here. So if this person has, I'll tell you what I see. And what I see is if this person, um, Jeremy, has a wife and she's like kind of a snobby person, or like a person that runs his life, She might be like, "You're not going nowhere because we had plans. You're not going to have an acoustic jam session with Brian and Paul and blah blah blah. You're not going to do that because we have plans. You got to do what I want." So if he has an obsessive wife or a wife that's like that, then that might happen. So it's either that's gonna happen or you guys are gonna have to replan on a day that his wife says it's okay. And women can be like that. But I feel like he'll be happy to do so. He'll be happy to like hang out with you guys and have this, acoustic jam session and be with you guys and do that. I feel like he wants that and he's happy to do so. But for the day that you're planning on having it, his either wife or girlfriend is going to get in the way, or somebody's wife or girlfriend is going to get in the way. That's what I see possibly happening. So, otherwise, that I feel like it'll happen and it'll go well eventually. But the day that you're planning on to, I don't think it's going to happen that day. It's going to have to be like on a neck, on another way or another, you know, it's going to have another way of doing it because of someone that he's involved with. So I don't know if he has a wife or something, or somebody's wife might be like, "Look, this shit's interfering with my life, so I can't have this happen." Or something might happen to somebody's wife where you'd have to cancel it. But I feel like Jeremy does want to do it, but it has to be done on a day that he's free. So yeah. So I don't know if that makes sense, Brian, but that's what I got. I was thinking about getting that for my mom, but she'll never take it. So she can get some sleep. Makes sense? Okay, cool. I'm glad it makes sense, but unfortunately that's the case, you know? So but I feel like you'll actually, get it done, Brian. But it's just gonna be has to be like a planned out type of thing. I would say like text him and say, "Look, let me know when you're free, and we can work around a schedule and make something happen." That's what I think that should happen. So that way it'll make it better. Yeah, I want to try another way for my mom so she can like get some better sleep. But if I tell her it consists of certain things, she probably would never do it. And I don't want to lie to her. But she takes some sleeping pills now. But she says that when she takes it, it makes her like dizzy in the morning. And even before my dad passed away, she wasn't getting much sleep. She said she'll sleep for she'll sleep for a couple hours and then that'll be it. So it's kind of, fucked up. I wish that she can sleep better. Yeah. I don't really have a problem sleeping. I just have a problem dreaming. I dream a lot and I don't like that. And sometimes when I have a stupid dream, I try not to go back to sleep. So I don't want to dream bullshit again. And I actually pray not to have dreams, but unfortunately I have a lot. Last night, I'll tell you about my stupid ass dream. So last night, uh, I went to sleep and I started to dream, you know, and I saw I'm at this place and it has like a white building and it has all these people dressed in white, you know, and then all of a sudden, this naked woman comes out of the crowd and starts climbing this building, and I can see her boobs, right? And that's all I saw. And I was like, yo, what the heck's wrong with this woman? And nobody was like paying attention to me. It's like they knew she was there and they didn't care. And I was like, why is this woman like, walking, like crawling up this building naked with her boobs all out, right? So I'm like saying to my, and then I woke up and I was like, what the fuck did I just dream? Like, why am I dreaming of some naked woman with her boobs out crawling up a building and people all dressed in white around her and just talking and not paying it no mind? It never made any like sense to me, you know? So that's why like I don't that's the only thing that wakes me up during the night is stupid ass dreams and I just sometimes I just lay there and be like, fuck, please don't dream no dumbass shit again. I really ain't got no time to be dreaming stupid ass shit, you know? So then I started go back to sleep and I'll dream of something totally different that don't make sense again. So like I wish I can, go to sleep and like not dream anything and just but I know that's not possible, but dreams are very annoying. I mean, it doesn't affect me, but it just annoys my sleep and annoys my frame of mind when I'm sleeping. So yeah. Fiona, a lot's been going on. I don't show it, you know. Um, Last week Monday, Diamond, I had to put her down, so she's gone, and it's been a week and a bit now. So Monday, I had to put her down. She had a lot of issues, and the doctor thinks that she had a stroke, and that's why she was stiff as a board and couldn't move. And she was just like, pretty much peeing herself, and she couldn't move. She was just laying there like half dead. So my sister and I made a decision on Monday morning to put her down in the afternoon. It was a hard decision. It was the hardest thing that we can do. It sucks, but um, yeah, we had to put her down on Monday, last Monday. So this past week has been very hard for me to, accept the fact that she's gone and she's no longer here. And as you know, almost 3 months ago, my dad passed away. So it's like it's even, my two people I saw, two, my dog and my dad were the two, beings that I saw mostly every single day or every other day. I saw my dog every day, but I saw my dad almost every other day. I spoke to him at least if I didn't see him. And they were both in here watching, sports with me all the time for years. So it's hard. I lost the two beings that I, pretty much love a lot and was around a lot. So now my apartment's empty. No dad, no dog, no nothing. Just me, my clothes, my hats, you guys, and that's it. So it's fucked up. That's what's been happening. So I'm alright. It just hurts to not have them around anymore. So Barbie, she just has issues sleeping. That's all. You know, she's always had issues sleeping. The doctor gave her some pills and stuff, but she's stubborn. See, she'll take half a pill sometimes. She'll take a whole pill sometimes. Sometimes she says she sleeps good. Some other times she says she only got a couple hours of sleep and she never went back. You know. Yeah. I don't like I've mentioned on here before, I don't really see nudity in my dreams, you know? I don't really see naked people in my dreams, or I don't really have sex in my dreams. It's once in a blue moon. I don't really see like type of stuff, you know. Probably people who watch porn all day will probably dream of that, but you know. And like I think like 2 nights ago, I was like I was in a car and I didn't even know who was in it, and somebody was driving me, right? And then I got out of the car and they said, "Oh, I have some. I'll give you what I have out of the trunk." And I'm like, "Okay." So then I go in the back of the trunk and there's like this doll in the back of the trunk, and then the person was trying to hide the doll. And I was like, "Are you okay?" And the person's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just, can you just go around the corner before I." And I was like watching this person stash the doll off and push it underneath all his clothes. And I'm like, what the fuck am I dreaming about? Some doll in the back of a fucking like trunk, and this person trying to hide it from me, and but yet they told me come back there because they want to like give me something, and then they never gave me anything, and I'm like, what the fuck is this bullshit? And I don't watch no movies. I don't watch movies. I watch all sports. When the game's over, I come on here. I don't like watch like all this bullshit, like I don't watch movies. Well, I sleep naked every day, TMI, but when I tell people I sleep naked, they're like, "Are you crazy?" I'm like, "It's cold as shit." And I'm like, "No." I said, "I don't feel cold when I'm in." I said, "I sleep naked 24/7 because I can't have clothes on. Because I'll wake up and my underwear will be wrapped around my fucking neck and my shirt will be twisted all this way because I move a lot in my sleep. I'm always twisting and turning. So having clothes on, if you're the type of sleeper that you have your clothes on, you're going to be twisted all up. So I came to the conclusion that if I don't have any clothes on when I go to sleep, that's the best remedy. That way I ain't gotta get tangled up. If anything, I'll get tangled up in my sheets. Sure, you know, because a lot of people say sleeping naked is a good thing. It's healthy. I guess that's why it's a good thing. I don't, I'm healthy. I guess. You know. Yeah, I am kind of mad that I woke up for no good reason. I agree with that, Starlight. Naked is how we're born. Rebirth. Yeah, it's not sexual stuff, because to me, I don't like, I'm not a porn addict, and I'm not like, a person that sees naked people every day. So the nakedness is just a part, because I never see naked people in my dreams. You know, that's like the first time in a long, long time that I've seen a pair of boobs in my dream, and they were huge. And the woman's frame was skinny, but she had these like huge boobs, and that's the only thing that I saw in the. And then she had no bottom half, like you could see her like crawling up this building, right? But I couldn't see like from waist down. I couldn't see like her legs crawling up, just her hands. And then she turned around and I saw like her boobs. And then I'm like, hey, that person's crawling up that building naked. And everybody's looking at me like, and they're like, I ain't seeing nothing, bro. What are you talking about? So it looked like I was the only person who saw that woman. Yeah, they were huge. And I was like, what the fuck am I seeing? Like when I woke up, I'm like, who was that? Because I couldn't even see the person's face. I knew they had short hair and they were skinny and they had big ass boobs, but that's about it. I told my sister that I had that dream because she was telling me about her dream about Diamond. And when I told her my dream, she goes, "You must have been watching porn last night." I said, "No." I said, "That's nothing to do with porn because one, I ain't watching no, I ain't looking at someone else's D. Hell no." And second of all, that's nothing to do. It wasn't a porn dream. I didn't see nobody fuck each other. I just saw a woman with her titties out. What do you want me to do? Tell her cover herself up. She was probably crawling up the building trying to get away from somebody. I don't fucking know. All right, Barbie, I'm gonna get out of here myself because it's already 12:41, and I gotta get up early tomorrow anyway. But it's been nice talking to you guys. I've been on here for almost 2 hours, but anyway, well, that's a good thing, Tanya. You know. Good night, Barbie. Fiona, I don't know. I'm not sure how to answer that. Because I don't. The only part of my life where I feel vulnerable is just helping people. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm vulnerable in a way to like to help people and make sure that I have that vulnerability to help or to be vulnerable to help someone. If that makes sense, I don't even know if that makes sense, but to answer your question, that's the only you know place in my life where I feel that way, and that's every day. If that's the case, because every day I feel like I'm vulnerable to help. So maybe that's it. I don't know. Yeah, probably. Yeah, pretty much. But you know what else I think it is too? Because yesterday when I was at the grocery store, a woman had a mask on, right? And she spoke to me, right? I spoke to her first. I looked at her and I was like, you know, hello, how are you? And she's like, oh, I'm good, thank you. And I was like, okay, good to hear. She's like, I don't know what to eat. I was like, well, there's a lot of food there, not a lot of choices. She goes, yeah, you're right. And then she ended up going behind me inside the where you cash out the cash line, like to get to pay for your groceries. She was right behind me, and I looked at her again. So maybe because I spoke to a woman and you know talked to her or whatever, but that wasn't the woman. She didn't look like the woman in my dreams, but it could be like because I spoke to a woman, I dreamt of one, with big boobs. But she didn't have big boobs, so I don't know. I don't really try to analyze dreams too much because a lot of them's all bullshit. It's all stupid ass shit. I try to make sense out of it, but I just don't. I just try not to. And on that note, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out. That's true too. You're right there, Fiona. Maybe I picked up on her vulnerability. Maybe she wanted me to see her boobs. Starlight, wishing you fine, Poppy. And keep me updated, please, on that. I'm praying for you guys. Pray for Dan and Miss and his wife so they get better, healthy wise. Pray for each other. Keep safe. Be nice. Do what you got to do. And it's good seeing you all. And I hope you have a great Thursday. And I'll be here tomorrow night as usual. Same place, same time, same shit. All right, guys. Good night. Take care.